Okay, this is my final map, and let's walk through it. So this is a warehouse-based map. Essentially, you have two bases. It's a two versus two, just like the map before, and players will be spawning in the backside. So it might be easier to show in the Fortnite editor, or the creative editor, but I'll flip to that later. So essentially, what this is there are multiple layers to this. You have a layer up top here, a layer. Well, it's a flipped map, so wherever you have here, you also have on the other side to make it fair. So I'm just going to display the map, and I'll explain it in detail on the Fortnite Creative because I think that's easier. Whoops. Yeah, so let's walk through it. Cool. So essentially, what I can explain here is you have a left side and right side. Essentially, the left side and yeah, let's go to the Fortnite editor actually. Okay, now that we're here, essentially, so you'll be spawning in down here. You have a advantage here. I made sure to make the walls really small because I don't want people to be camping back here. So yeah, I guess you have a good field of sight over half the map. You don't have, a lot of cover. You also have an inside area. This one has a bit more cover, but I made it I differed it from the top because I don't want players to be camping here either. So let's say you do get this little camp spot and you do want to camp, you don't have real impact over the map. Let's say you have like field of view on the left side and kind of field of view here, and then of course field of view of their area. Opposed to the top, you have a lot more to look at, right? You kind of have field of view everywhere except for behind these shipment containers, behind that shipment container, but you have limited cover. Uh, Something else that I liked or that I added for this map is a lot of verticality. So let's say you're up here, you have a field of view of this area, and you can kind of change their perspective of what you have. So you have a lot more cover than if you were just standing right there, right? And then you can, oh, and of course you can traverse the top of this and fight up here, right? There's layers of fighting for this one, which is something that I kept in mind. So you can either fight on top, you can fight on bottom, right? And then, of course it's mirrored, right? So you can fight through here, and I added the biggest covers in the middle, so players can fight for the middle control, right? With middle control, you have crates that actually cover your whole entire body, so you have kind of an advantage over here, right? So you'll be able to shoot kind of at these players' heads, which is where their heads would be showing, right? There you go. And they can't really peek out because their head's kind of showing when they move, so it's hard to peek out like this. But let's say you're hiding over here, you can you can swing out to the right without revealing your head, right? So fighting for the middle here is important as well. Fighting for the top is important. The top has full field of view of people behind boxes, and they can also hide away as well. What else? What else? What else? Yeah, so that's essentially it. Oh, the backside. So you can go through these tunnels to get to the backside. The backside is nice too. Field of vision is very limited, but these crates create a nice little like natural cover for you. So even though the field of vision is little, that will be balanced out by cover. So it could be strategical for you to go on the left or right side because you get cover, but it's not overpowered in the sense that you don't have a huge field of view of the whole entire map, right? Other side's the same as well. So here, players will be fighting for the top, which has the highest field of view, but only if you make it to like the middle top, if it makes sense. These shipments are the first mantling position that players can get from spawn. So let's say you just mantle on top of here. There's not much cover, so players will be playing for either positioning here or positioning here, here, wherever. So yeah, let's go on to the the overview of it. Okay, so this is the overview, the bird's eye view of the whole entire map. And essentially, we can break it down to three. Yeah, we can do 3, 2, 2.5, I guess. 2.5. And then I'll put underneath this as 1 and then base 4 as 1, 0. So underneath this, so inside here, you can't see on the bird's eye view, but inside here, we'll put as 1. So essentially, let's talk about field of views. So I made it a huge point to not block the corners. I explained this in one of my other videos where I made a huge point not to put a box here because then there's no flow. You can't really, if you can't go through here, then you're forced to just stop here and then go out here, which feels very blocky, not really flowy, as opposed to having walls or protection away from a corner. You have much more options. You can go through here, you can go through here, you can go through here. Honestly, you can even go up it. But yeah, a lot more options with that. Same place, same thing on the bottom side, I guess. Let's say you start right here, the player can go around, they can go over here, and of course they can go on top, right? And with field of view, I made it so if let's say you're underneath here, so your player is right here, your field of view is very limited. You have here, kind of here, and then a little bit here as well. And then let's say you're here, right? You have field of view here, here, here. Not a lot of field of view from the side, but that's kind of what I was aiming for. You don't have a lot of people looking at you, but at the same time, you can't be looking at a lot of people. So it's a low risk, low reward kind of play, as opposed to, let's say you run straight to the top, you're right here, high risk, high reward kind of play, right? Because you're going to be having to cross this, or you can get it from here. A lot of ways to get up there, but let's say you are there, players from this angle can see you. Players from this angle can see you. Players also right here can probably not there. Up here they can see you, right? If they're on top of this container, they can see you. If they're over here, they can see you. Even if they're right here, they can see you. They can see you from the other side. You have a lot of people looking at you, but of course you have that natural protection of the high ground, so you can also kind of back away, and then you have protection from this wall, right? People over here can no longer see you, or here can no longer see you. So you have that high ground. You also have boxes on the top to that you can hide behind. So if you're hiding right here, you can right hand peek, and then you have field of view of essentially this whole entire place, right? Using that third person camera. So there's a huge emphasis on trying to get the high ground because you have a huger line of sight. So yeah, that is the final map.